From Washington, this is VOA News. Coming up, more warnings for Russia regarding Ukraine. The search for the missing Malaysian passenger plane continues. Hello everyone, I am Steve Norman. Ukraine's government struggled Tuesday to assert and maintain control of key cities in its pro-Russian east as pressure mounts to bridge ethnic and political divides that threaten to further split the country. Meantime, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry said Russia is fueling separatist unrest in eastern Ukraine and could be contrived crisis to justify a military intervention. More now from VOA's Scott Stearns.
Secretary of State John Kerry says President Barack Obama is preparing a far tougher series of sanctions if Russia does not step back from what he calls its clear and unmistakable involvement in destabilizing eastern Ukraine.
So Russia has a choice: to work with the international community to help build an independent Ukraine that could be a bridge between East and West, not the object of a tug of war that could meet the hopes and aspirations of all Ukrainians, or they could face greater isolation and pay the cost for their failure to see that the world is not a zero-sum game.
Pro-Russian separatists in southeastern regions are demanding referenda on a split with Ukraine, the same kind of vote that took place last month in Crimea after Russian troops took control there. Scott Stearns, VOA News at the State Department.
World Health Organization says the ongoing Ebola outbreak in West Africa is one of the most challenging it's ever faced. Outbreak has resulted in more than 110 deaths. Guinea remains the center with 157 suspected or confirmed cases of Ebola. Another 21 cases suspected or confirmed in Liberia. Oscar Pistorius broke down and cried on the witness stand Tuesday as he described the moment he realized he had fatally shot his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. South African runner testifying for a second day in his murder trial said he initially thought an intruder was in his Pretoria home when he fired shots through a locked bathroom door.
When I flung the door open, I threw it open, and I sat over Reva and I cried. And I don't know how long I was there for. She was everything.
We'll take an adjournment. Court will adjourn.
After an adjournment, the judge canceled testimony for the rest of the day. At least 24 ships and planes are scouring 600-kilometer arc of the Indian Ocean where sophisticated sound equipment earlier detected pings that might have come from the missing Malaysian airliner's flight data recorders, also known as black boxes. Angus Houston, the retired Australian Air Chief Marshal who is heading the search operation off of Australia's west coast, said the equipment has picked up no trace of the signals since they were first heard over the weekend.
There have been no further contacts with any transmission, and we need to continue that for several days, right up to when the point at which there's absolutely no doubt that the pinger batteries will have expired. So it'll be several days more. Now, until we stop the pinger search, we will not deploy the submersible.
Time is running out to find the devices as their locator beacons have a battery life of about a month. It has been 1 month and 1 day since Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 disappeared on a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 people aboard. At least 5 people have been killed during a fierce gun battle in Indian-controlled Kashmir. Indian military and police launched a joint operation about 130 kilometers north of the main town of Srinagar after receiving intelligence on possible military activity in the area, militants that is. Both Indian and Pakistan claimed Kashmir in its entirety, with Egypt ministering part of it. The neighboring countries have fought 2 or 3 wars over the region. Teams from Iran and groups of world powers meeting for a third time as they try to agree on a comprehensive deal to ensure that Iran's nuclear program is peaceful. Negotiators in Vienna hope to reach a permanent deal by the end of July. And the International Monetary Fund says the global economic recovery is strengthening. He said, for more on these stories and the rest of the hour's news, check out our website at voanews.com.